Good evening, everyone. Um, just to be sure or to be certain that you can hear me, please use an emoji. Can we hear me well? Okay, perfect, perfect. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of Tales by Moonlight by Tailits Media. And of course, for those who are joining for the first time, Tales by Moonlight is a series, a 6 episode series where we are connecting business moguls, marketing experts to help small business owners and content creators and really anyone that is in the field or in the business of selling a service or product, whilst listening to all of these business moguls share their story and learning from their stories actively. So, like the name goes, Sales by Moonlight, it's meant to give you this evening rendezvous. It's meant to just give you this calm, chill vibe while you learn. So welcome to the third episode. I mean, we've done one, two, and now the third one. I'm super excited. Of course, I am your host. I'm Chioma Ara, the founder of Tailits Media, and I have my ever so wonderful co-host today, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Good evening, everybody. Well, I'm Flourish, your co-host for today, and I'm a creative writer at Tail It Media. And I really hope we have a lovely time in today's episode.
Honestly, like I'm feeling so pumped. I'm super excited. Flourish, are you feeling this energy? Because a lot of people are we're actually anticipating this episode. How are you feeling?
Well, I can say that I'm looking forward to people learning the stories that will be shared, the real life examples and actionable tips. Please, I'm all for
The
actionable tips.
what do you
Oh, so okay. Yeah, honestly, I'm super pumped and I can see lots of, business owners here already and I'm just looking forward to them learning a whole lot. And of course, we have our guest speaker for today who is going to be taking us in with the topic. As the topic goes, building a loyal tribe. If you're a small business owner and you think that business is all about just selling and somebody buying, you are in the wrong because you actually need to build a community for them to keep coming back. Like, I mean, you would prefer a customer to come back to you a million times than for you to have new customers every day. Repeat customers are always the best. And Anulua is here to take us through that journey. So, before I get ahead of myself, I'm going to allow Anu Olua to introduce himself to us today. Anu, are you ready? Perfect. We want to get to know you. Hello, can Anu Olua hear me? Can every other person hear me? Can you just use an emoji for me to be sure? Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Um, please, if you can hear me, please let me see. Hello, Choma, can you hear me? Flourish, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Okay,
perfectly,
so
actually.
actually, like, the devil is a liar. Um, my account just got blocked. I just had to
What? Are you?
like 5 minutes, they said the account is locked, so that was why I joined late. So I don't know what am I meant to say. I didn't get you because
Oh,
I'm lost. I'm
we want
just joining,
to.
please. Sorry.
Oh, you see, if you joined the first episode, you know that something very similar
Okay.
happened. But you know what makes this our episode so
Okay.
sweet? So we're saying that you should quickly introduce
Okay.
yourself. Let us know you,
Okay.
yeah.
So good evening to everyone that is here or that are here. My name is Anoluapo Adepoju. You can call me Anu, and I'm a content creator. Even though the small business owners there and the people who sell online, who are part of my community, they refer to me as a business coach. But I'm still running away from accepting that calling. More of into influencing marketing, especially here on X, and digital strategy. What again do I do? I abuse single people. Like, you can't be my friend I be single. That's why I'm not friends with Chioma. What again? I work in an agency. I work in a marketing agency, and then we do everything to just make the lives of small businesses easier and okay. I think that's enough. Thank you.
So I was just on my own and shade just had to hit me, but that's fine. That's fine. We're going to forgive that today. We're going to forgive that today. We'll talk about that later. But of course, like Anioluwa said, he is a content creator, but I knew that he was not going to agree to toot his own horn. So I'm going to do that for him. I'm going to give you a proper introduction as to who Anioluwapo is. So, like he said, he's a content creator, but he actually specializes in creating targeted content for small businesses to enhance their online presence. Right? He is not just any content creator, but he's actually a prominent ex influencer than he would want to agree. And he contributes to his separate agency. And Anu Oluwapo has helped many small businesses and online entrepreneurs through webinars, tips, and events, which is why for you to pay attention to today's episode is very important because he's on a mission to take you from a zero to a 1,000 this evening. And I would also like to add that Anu Oluwapo owns a book. Authorized a book titled Dear Small Business Owner. It's a creative guide to scale up your small business online, volunteering up. Yeah, so basically, this book is all about helping you, assisting you to upgrade. If before you're always begging your friends and family to patronize you, then you're going to, after reading this book, you are guaranteed that you're going to be making, closing so many sales. So let's get right into today's agenda. I'm super excited. So, like I said, today's episode, we're going to be talking about building a loyal tribe. So, this is where I let Flourish take on with the first introduction to this topic.
All right. So yes, it's on to. Okay, please can we hear me?
Yes, girl. Hear you. Can hear
All
you.
right. So today's episode is about building a loyal tribe, and as our speaker posted on his X space, he stated that it is very, very important for you to carry your customers along because they matter. And they say respect is reciprocal. So when you carry them along because they matter, they will also treat you in the same regard. And today we're going to be looking into how building a loyal tribe is going to foster the growth of your business. Because as a business owner, you definitely need an audience to purchase from you. You definitely need an audience to buy from you. So we're going to be looking at how storytelling can help you build this community of on tutors, people that are going to buy from you, people that are going to be your brand advocates and not just your customers. So that's what we are going to be looking into on today's episode.
Yeah, so Anolua, so for your first question, like I would want you to put us through, yes. You already said that you've worked with a lot of small business owners. and building a tribe, like you always say, even on your tips, the tips that you always share from time to time, you always say that it's very important to have your own tribe. So how do you expect a small business owner to begin to build that tribe, and what exactly is this tribe all about? you know at the end of the day, this topic is also relating to startup founders as well, and even people who are wanting to be content creators like you. So just put us through how you did it and how you expect them to do it as well.
Okay. Let me copy the normal way interviewers will say. Thank you so much for that question. So let's get straight into this. Before I start, if you know me very well, I will say I always love conversations like this, because conversations like this put us on the map regarding our business. I believe so strongly in and the Holy Book, the Bible, apologies to non-Christians, they said faith cometh by hearing and hearing and hearing. So if you really want to grow in your business, you need to hear it and hear this, hear that till you grow. And I'm going to encourage everybody here to please send this program to somebody in your DM, use your Twitter post, just tell somebody to join us, because I'm going to be divulging a lot of information tonight regarding how I've been able to build a royal tribe over the time. So straight down to the question, why we do that. I'm going to say the first thing is we must start seeing content creation as entrepreneurship. When I mean entrepreneurship, the reason why most of us are entrepreneur fine is because we are hungry, we want to like settle our stomach. But you must realize that if you would be an effective entrepreneur, an entrepreneur who is visionary, you must realize that there is a problem that you want to solve. And then you must look at it that way, from that perspective. When it comes to content, you have to look at it that there is a problem that wants to be solved. Not that I just want to like wake up one morning and start posting this, posting that. And I'm going to give you an example of my own personal self. What I was able to do was 2020, when COVID hit, a lot of people were looking for answers. In fact, I'll tell you that 2020 there was a rise of a lot of motivational speakers, because people were tired of staying indoor and everything was really, really burdensome. And then there was a rise for motivational speakers, business coaches. There was a new wave of things. And one of the things I realized was that this new wave that was starting, a lot of people could not connect with it. Fine, the Chioma here can read seven psychologies of making money. Media Queen can read seven marketing tips from top marketing officials, and they have the time, they have the luxury of time, or they have been able to create that time. But there are some people who don't even, they have the time, but they are not even considering reading it. They don't even have the time. So what me I do is I go out I noticed that there was a gap. A lot of people were complaining they can't read, they can't listen to podcasts, they can't watch YouTube videos. So I noticed there was a gap, and I filled into that gap. How was I able to fill into that gap? I dedicated my own time. That's why I call myself a content creator. I read through the podcast, the YouTube videos, the other platforms from all these big guys, and what I do is I bring it down into simple terms that small business owners can understand. So it's very, very important that you first identify the problem. If you don't identify a problem, you would find it. So the same way you have identified a problem in creating business, that's the same approach you use when you're writing or putting out content. Another way for you to like get through to your tribe is that you must, after finding a problem, you must know what resonates with your audience. When I started, I realized that I was writing a lot of trends, and a lot of people, because at that time, a lot of people were not so super busy, because COVID was around at that particular time. So a lot of people had the chance to read. But as time goes on, I realized that attention span reduced, and what people needed were just nuggets. And that was when I started investing so strongly in nuggets sometimes last year. So you must understand what resonates with your audience. For example, now if you are dating an Igbo girl, for example, you know that there are some certain things out of culture this is what this person will like. If you're dating a Yoruba girl, for example, you know that she will like amala. It's just a natural thing that she will love amala. So you have to know what your, because if you don't, you will just be consistent doing these things and you will get tired. So number one, identify the problem and you want to fill that gap. If it's if you feel you can maybe write things and your audience will resonate to it, fine. If you think you need to do video, you just need to identify that gap. And number two is you look for ways on how you can resonate with your audience. And then you don't resonate with your audience by open. You try different techniques. It's not that you open, oh, let me just keep open, or you keep studying, or you keep researching. Fine, researching, making research a part of what makes content go far and everything. But you still need to take action. You try and error until you get the one that resonates with them, and then you build with them. I think I've been able to like answer that question. Thank you.
Yes, you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. So, just in case you need a breakdown, what Anolua is saying is just a very brief highlight is first, you need purpose. Purpose in trying to, in this whole journey of building your tribe, the first thing is to have a purpose. Why are you doing this in the first place? You need to be able to identify what it is. Secondly, consistency. Thirdly, connecting, knowing where to connect all of these dots, right? So that's perfect. So my next question for you now is that what role has storytelling played in your own personal branding strategy? Because yes, you know, even aside the whole content creation now, right? As a small business owner or content creator or a startup founder, whatever business you are in, it's still very important to know the connecting factor with all of this and the content that you're putting out there. So, how do you use this content that you're putting out there to structure all of these things? Because I mean, for you to be a tribe, it means that you are the one bringing these people together close to
Mm,
you, for them to be connected to you, for them to want to be around you and stuff like
okay.
that. So just work on.
Hello, are you done?
Yes, I
Oh,
am.
okay.
Did you get my
Yeah, yeah, I
you
get
want me
your
to repeat the
question.
question?
I get your question. The first thing I want everybody to know in this place is that everybody is in the business of storytelling. Everybody is in the business of storytelling. In fact, you might think, oh, I don't know how to tell story, but you find out that if you are not following Insta blog, you are actually following marketing blog. If you are not following marketing blog, if you are following Today Note, you are actually following a Today Note of marketing. So everybody is in the business of storytelling. And you will realize that sometimes, because I'm a religious studies student, I and my course has been able to like shape my mind. I was looking at, there was a time we had a discussion in class at a particular time, and we had asked our lecturer a question that how was it that people were able to stay under the administration of our Lord Jesus Christ for long hours. Sorry, apologies to non Christians, but this story would actually like make you understand my next point. So like we asked him this question, and he said if he thinks that because this man used the importance of parable, that storytelling, in preaching his gospel to the people, so people could stay for a long period of time. So I'm going to say storytelling has really, sorry, sorry, I need water. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm back. So storytelling has really shaped my brand in such a way that I have people who resonate with it using this strategy that I call the ownership strategy. There's this ownership strategy that I learned from a mentor about 3 years ago, and I'm going to be sharing it with everybody here. And I want everybody to pay attention. This will really help shape the way, same way it has shaped my own brand, is going to help shape your own brand. This is what we call the ownership strategy. It happens in football. If you notice something about footballers, you hear people say when they're having random discussions about their star players, you hear them say something like, oh, Ronaldo or mommy, like Cristiano Ronaldo is my child. There's this ownership mentality that footballers have been able to create. And if you really want to leverage the use of storytelling, you must create that ownership mentality. my tribe, they believe that we both own the account, and that's the reason why if I fall sick, it concerns them. If anything goes wrong with me, it concerns them, because I have been able to create that ownership mentality that we both own this thing. How? One, dear small business owner. That was one of my breakthrough here on Twitter. People felt special. They felt they had seen somebody who could carry their burden. They felt they have seen somebody who could express the things they were going through. The things that, those complex things that people were finding it difficult to do. There was this young boy who was breaking it down for them in simple sentences. So the use of their small business owners to tell story really helped and enabled my brand. Another one was their single antelopes. For 2022 to 2023, Media Queen is here, Joy is here. Those are people who have followed me for a long time. They will realize that I use that content. In fact, I would say their single antelope content gave me some of my followers, and gave me a lot of followers, because people were, a lot of people don't like to be attacked when they are single. And I noticed that there was a line in there, and then I targeted out content for Friday and Saturday. So creating an ownership mentality using storytelling has really helped my business. And I'm going to say every small business owner here must find a way of, especially that's why you're a small business owner. You have your eyes is all over. You can take charge of your customer. You must create that ownership mentality. And how do you create it? I said something earlier today. I said, number one, interact. Number two, engage. Number three, promote and post. A lot of us, we are successful owners. If you really want to like leverage storytelling well, you must be able to like tell what is happening in your business, apart from come and buy from me. If you really want to create an ownership mentality, you see footballers showing you when they are training for football, when they are training for, they even show you when they go for vacation. You will see a random boy in the street telling you that Messi is presently in Paris enjoying his life, he's on vacation. So you need to create that ownership mentality, and it's really going to help shape your business. Thank you so much.
You know, one thing I love about what you've shared with us today is the fact that everything that you've said, every point that you've made can be divided into 20 more points. And that's just really powerful. Honestly, I know that this is the third episode, but just see this one as a revival episode. Like, if your business is still the same after this particular episode, I don't know what to say to you, because I know Lua is on fire. Okay, so aside that, right, there's something that he said that really caught my attention, and that is something about this ownership strategy. Basically, to just simplify this, because I really love to give actionable examples, something that you can implement immediately. You need something that you can work on sharp, sharp, right? It's basically seeing it as you talking to one person. You know, one thing about storytelling is that when you try to talk to so many people at the same time, it's kind of evokes it's kind of like reduces the effect that it's supposed to have on the person. So just like what he said about his book, by the way, you should get that book. That book is really perfect. I've read it like 1,000 times. I did not tell him because he said that we're not friends, but but yes, so using that word, dear small business owner, talking to just one person, there's this connection. So let's say you're selling, let's say you are a let's say you are in the business of gifting. There's somebody I can see here that is into the business of, creating gifts and surprise plan. When you're trying to tell the story about your products, don't try to sell to every single person. Have somebody in mind. Have just one person in mind. You can use examples like, let's say there is one of your friends that has actually been very good to you. The person has been there through thick and thin. Now I'm talking about platonic friendship. Now you can now talk to this person, that I know that this person, this your friend, has been doing something very well for you. This person was there when nobody was there. This person was the first person to send you money. God will bless them. But do you know that sending them a pistol is nice, but giving them a very nice package would do something better? Then you can now bring out your offerings, suggest what you put in that package. That is how to create, that is literally how to talk to a community of people. Now you're not seeing your followers or the people that follow you as followers now or potential customers, but you're seeing them as people who are in your community, in your tribe, people that both of you, you and them think alike minds, and that is how people connect with you. Just like what Anu Lua said earlier, and I'm going to quote it because I had to write it down. He said that everybody is in the business of storytelling, right? One thing about storytelling is that it's, like I always say, it's a psychological game. When you make when you say things, or you describe events, or you narrate a story and make them feel like they were there, that is when that your story has been effective. Now, if storytelling in selling in the business world means that you have your customer in mind, you have single-handedly brought them, and you're now putting them and placing them in scenarios that they could find themselves in. That is how to sell. So have it in any business that you are doing, whether you're in the business of selling phones and laptops, whether it's used one, there's always a story to tell. Whether you're a baker, there's always a story to tell. It is not only when there's a birthday that somebody will want to get cake. That is just actionable examples that you can use. So I'm going to go on with my next question, so I don't take this one away. So the next thing is, Anoluwa, can you walk us through the strategies that have been most effective for you in networking and community building? Because I have to point it out that you have a very strong community. Inviting you for this event, we saw it. And I'm being very, very blunt and honest about this. He has a very strong community. So I want you to tell us how you've been able to do this brick by brick. Yes, you've shared a lot of things with us earlier, but tell us what are the strategies that has effectively worked for you now
Choma,
to this point.
Choma, you go send me money, like $50 million. This is really expensive. You want me to tell my secret? No problem. I'm here for you. Okay. I'm going to share about 4 points, but before I share my 4 points, I'll say just one thing. And there's a secret of networking I learned about 3 years ago, and that secret has really helped me. And I'm going to say it. I've said it a couple of times on the TL, and if you pay attention to me, you can say it word for word if you have heard me speak several times. And the thing is this: the secret I don't use is the most is connect with people above you, connect with people who are in your level, and connect with people down you. So now I believe that in every industry there are three players. There are three kinds of players. We have the top players, we have the trending players, and we have the normal players. The top players in the industry, if you think of comedy right now in Nigeria, you think of Alibaba. Alibaba is a top player. For me to connect with Alibaba right now, it might be difficult. So literally, you connect with people like that, top players in your industry, by commenting under their posts sometimes, reading their books, listening to their audios and podcasts. You actually don't need to have a chit chat with a man before you connect with him. Let me tell you that you don't need. So top players are very, very important in whatever industry you find yourself. Find the top players, because the top players carry what I call a replica of the vision that you carry. So if you have a vision to, for example, now, you will see me. If you know me very well, I follow someone like Sam Adeyemi, because I believe he's carrying one of the replica of the visions that I have as a person. I believe that I will be a global coach. I believe it is something that I'm so sure of. So you need to follow top players in your industry. It's very, very important. Number two people you need to follow is trending players. These are the people who are popular right now. You need to follow them because they are trending. You need to like learn one or two things from them on how they have been able to stay relevant using the present trend. It's very, very important. Number three thing is now the most important thing, and that's where a lot of people miss it, is growing with people who are also growing. These are the people, and that's the reason why over the years, well, since I started my own journey since 2019, when people invite me for programs, there are some people that are hard fan of Anola Kwadekwaju. I'm saying it here, even if we have few numbers of people joining us here today, I'm sure that there are more than 10 people who will chat me up before 12 o'clock. I'll show you to Chioma. They'll tell me that Anu, I was in this social and social place. I could not join, but I'm listening to this thing again. So I've been able to connect with people. For example, as we were speaking right now, I've been able to enter Media Queens DM and say thank you so much for joining. I've been able to enter Joy's DM. That's like someone more of like we are building a business together, a co-founder, and she's also like she works as my manager too sometimes when my head goes off sharp. So like you have to find ways to connect with the people who are also growing with you. These people, if you are not careful, because if you are not careful, you are focusing on the top players, you are focusing on the trending players, you find out that you will lose out on your friends, because these your friends too, they will become trending players. If they are smart enough, they will become top players. And have you noticed that presidents, they will be talking in their inaugurational speech, they'll be telling you that, oh, I knew Jesu Gbemi when I was in secondary school, and that maybe at that time Jesu Gbemi is also a governor, and the man is a so you really need to like not leave the people who are growing with you to focus only on the top players and the trending players. Another thing that has really worked for me in community building is what I mentioned earlier, the ownership mentality. I say it often and often. If you have heard me speak several times, I say I don't own my account. A lot of us, the 8,650 people who are following me, they own this account. It belongs to them. So I've given them that mentality and they see it as their own. They see it as their own. And then another thing that has really helped me in building my community is sending text messages to people. I say it every time. If you're a small business owner, one of the advantage you have on like Coca-Cola or other big brands is that they might not be able to reach out to their consumers directly, but you have that access. You have that access to if I'm selling shoes, I can reach out to Chioma, I can reach out to Alajobe, I can reach out to Cakes by Jade because of the kind of business I'm doing, and that is a leverage. For example, you see your customer complaining about something, for example, complaining that they had a bad day. This is one of the ways I've been able to build. I'm telling you the truth. I will enter people's DM. I remember several times, oh, how are you doing? Somebody says they are sick. I'll be like, oh, hope you are good, hope you are fine. See, even a wicked man wants to be pampered. I understand that you want to sell, but at the end of the day, one of the advantages of being a small business owner is access. So you have to find a balance in looking into your customers' life. If you follow them on social media, if you have their WhatsApp status, you build. See, relationship is one of the sole aim of a successful small business. Coca-Cola, they don't have, even Coca-Cola had to do launch a campaign, I think maybe 4 or 3 years ago, at a particular time when they had to like put people's name on their bottle. So if you own a small business and you really are really crazy about community building, you must be involved in the lives of your consumers. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. You know what? If you're flowing with Anu the way I'm flowing with him, you realize that building a community is based off on selflessness and compassion. Like if you don't have that spirit of selflessness in you and you cannot become compassionate, it will be very, very hard for you to sell big. And if I'm going to break this down into like the business, if I use the business language, is basically you having this mentality of customer service, like prioritizing customer service. Because imagine you reaching out to somebody in your community and saying, oh, I saw that you made a tweet about not feeling too well, hope how are you doing. I hope you know that doing that is you staying top of mind, because the first thing that comes to them that they think of is, wow, so you actually took out the time to send me a message regarding this. And obviously you're doing this from your business. You're obviously a business person, and they know this from probably your tweets and your content, and probably they've seen one or two promotional contents. Obviously, like when they think of something relating to your product, you're the first person that would come to mind, because you've managed to take it out of the public and into their private space, which is their DMs. So it's basically you creating an excellent customer experience, staying top of mind whilst you connecting. So the process of all of this is then you building a connection. This is wonderful. This is great. I'm going to let Flourish take on with the next question from here.
Okay, thank you so much, Shoma, and a big thank you to our speaker. Like the value you're sharing here is really, really immense. Like it's worth a lot. So you shared stories, you've spoken about your books, you've spoken about the type of content that you created for particular days to speak to specific people. So now can you share with us a story from your journey that has actually had a significant impact on your brand's growth? You've mentioned dear business owner, you've mentioned dear single antelopes. Trying to say that Chioma at the start of the episode. Well, that aside, so can you share a story that has made a significant impact on your brand's growth?
Okay, I think everybody knows this.
Can anybody hear Anu?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, now we
Oh,
can hear
okay.
you. You're
I was
good.
actually talking. I didn't even know I was on mute. Okay. So I'm going to share a story that really helped me. And the story was last year, before I even connected with a lot of people. And I think at a point I was writing my book. In fact, it wasn't a book at first. It was just a compilation of the tweets I've made since 2020 till 2023. I kind of wanted to use it to celebrate my last year's birthday. So that was it. So it was just a compilation of those tweets. So I sent it to one of my egbons, and his name is Uncle B. He's a top player when it comes to their small business owner. So it was like, instead of writing tweet, I mean, you know these things now. And then actually at that time, I was managing a friend's business in Ibadan at that particular time. I was like, you have results for all these things. Why not like write a proper book and then you attach your tweets to it as number you attach it as chapter 4, and that's how we were able to write the book. But one of the things that really helped was when the book was now ready, Anu was confused about the name to name the book. So I just put it out there. Okay, I just finished writing my book. Oh, my people, what do you think? That was how people I say. That's what. No, I didn't even say what do you think. I said who would guess the name of the book, like the name of this book. I know that people were saying they're small business owner, they're small business owner. I was like, and the Bible said, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, a word is established. So that was how I got that name, Get Small Business Owner, for my book. And even me and my manager, she doesn't like me mentioning her manager. That's Joy. That's Abigail. We are working on like an episode 2 of that particular book. So that was how I was able to, because of the impact I've been able to make over the years, that really helped shape the the name of the book and also the sales of that book. And honestly, I actually had a blissful birthday through selling of that book last year. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's so sweet. Honestly, I didn't even want you to stop talking, even though I know that some people will swear for me when these things start reaching 2 hours. But anyway, that's a very lovely story. But there's something that, even with this, speaking on this book here, I got this book, and like I said at the beginning of this episode, if you're yet to get the book, you should. If this is your first time hearing about the book, Dear Small Business Owner, this is not Anu did not pinch me to say this, but that is a very amazing book. I'm reading it. I've read it. I've actually read it for the first time. This is my second time reading it. It's not plenty at all. And there's something that he said that I'm going to point out, and this is just going to be like more emphasis as to what we've been discussing before, and that is like his rule number 2. He has 3 rules in that book actually. His number 2 rule was you can be sincere and be sincerely wrong. And what he was really just applying to that context is that if you're not going outside, if you're not if you're not consistently reaching out to learn more about your business and how you can level up, it's going to be very hard for you to build a successful business. And that is why we are here today, to still talk about what it takes to build a loyal tribe. And I'm even going to use us for instance. Like everyone here, most people that are here because of Anu Oluwa, because you saw that, oh, Anu is actually going to be on this episode. He's going to be here to speak. He's going to be here to share something. And that's why you came. because you trusted that he has a lot to say. And that is basically that's just how it plays out. You are literally a tribe, you are literally part of his community, and that is why you turned up here. So if there's something, if there's anything, if there's nothing that you've picked from today's episode, at least pick that building a tribe can be very, very effective, that it plays with your psychology, because you don't even know that you're doing it, but you're just doing it. So you're doing it because you're trying to support him, you're trying to show up for him. But you doing that because you want to support him is literally you being in a community because you want to be part of the growth, you want to be part of the success story. And that's just it. So that even takes me to my next question. Yeah. So how do you ensure that brands stay relevant and evolves with industry trends? Again, a lot of small business owners are here on this episode, and they are from different sectors. I keep emphasizing this because, in as much as I know that small business owners are here, this is equally as important to every type of business. Every type of business in this life, whether you're a service provider, is just really important for you. So yes, I would like for you to answer that question for us. How do you ensure that brands stay relevant in as much as they are sharing content and being all top of mind and being intentional about what their content is saying? How does it match up with industry trends so that they can also improve? Anu, did you hear me? Did anybody hear me? I'm sure I was heard. Could it be network?
Sorry, it was my network. Airtel, they are the weapon fashioned against me.
We've been here before.
They I didn't get the question, and I didn't even get to listen to the question because it
Okay.
was cracking. So what's
Yeah,
the question?
just
Yeah,
going to
thank you.
the question there. So the question is, how do you ensure that brands stay relevant and
Mhm.
evolve with industry trends? You know
Mhm.
how you already said that when you create content with this ownership strategy mentality, having them in mind, sharing value, and da 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 da, all of that good stuff. How do they still create content that would still match up with industry trends, so that at the end of the day, the business actually has a route that is growing to. He has where it's going. So yeah, that's the question. Airtel, why? It's Airtel that is doing this thing, no. Okay. So okay, I think the network has now like successfully taken him out. But because I don't want to waste so much time,
Is
it's
this trend really relevant
oh
to our
wow.
business? Is it relevant to our industry? If it is not relevant to our business, I don't think
Sorry,
it is important.
I know, sorry. We didn't hear you. I don't know whether you've been saying something before, but we actually didn't. So start it. That's
Ah, hello, can you hear me now?
yes, we can.
Ah, good. What was the last thing I said? I beg, sorry.
We didn't even I didn't that. Just
Ah,
start because
okay.
I
I
was
said I have an opposing view to trends, and I usually say this. I said trend. I usually say that trends are not sustainable and trends are short-lived. Like you can't base your business on trends. Fine, they will help you grow, they would give you pseudo growth, but it's not something that is sustainable. So I'm always advising small businesses to always watch before they leap. Is that English correct? Like I always advise that they check if this trend is relevant to their business before they engage the trend for their business. And before you even engage the trend for it, I think is in this part of the world that we don't do this, even though a lot of small businesses through our through our mediums, through my page, through some other people's page who are crazy about helping small businesses. We are now advocating for small businesses using surveys. It's very, very important because if you really want to stay relevant, the people you want to the people you want to serve, they're your customers. Fine, it's good to be innovative, it's good to adapt to marketing strategy, but everything still boils down to the consumer, to the customer. So it's much more better that you engage your customers before you leap on some certain trends, and then you find out that if it is important to your own business, if it is important to your own if it is not important to your own business, I want advice that you jump on it. And then another thing that I would that please let me drink water. Another thing I'm going to say is people should be able to like adapt. And when you see a strategy that is not working, find ways on how you can quickly run back to undo it and put out something that your audience can love, your potential customers can love, and then that can make them customers. But I'm going to say this, and this would be one of the last things I'm going to say as I allow the next question. And this is it. Trends are not sustainable, trends are short lived, but at the same time, it's good to jump on them. And at the same time, have a structure for your business. Have your own content marketing strategy for your own business, because if you're not careful, you will just be you will be going to and fro like wind if you're not careful. So it's very, very important that, in as much as it is good, that's why I said I have an opposing view to trends. That's why I said it earlier. I don't believe in trends at all, because if it was believing in trend, by now I should be a blogger. So let me hang my boot on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Honestly, it's really hard for you to keep up with trends, especially let me take, video trends for instance. There was a time that there was this very effective trend that was going on Instagram, that there would be a short clip and then it would transition into what you are doing. It's probably somebody flying over, and then you know and that was like a major trend. It was very effective, it was working, people were going viral, it was amazing. But with everything that is happening, right, it's just really hard for you to keep up with stuff like that. There's always something coming up. And the interesting thing, how I see it, as someone who is into the psychological of selling and marketing, is that the truth is that somebody started this trend. So, do you want to follow the trend, or do you want to be the trend starter? Do you want to be the one that is the trend setter? You're the one that is starting it, and hopping on trends. Why exactly are you hopping on these trends exactly? Like, what what are you trying to achieve with it? Is it virality, or you actually want to make sales? Because those are two different things. You can't have it all. You can't have it all. Your business could go viral and you still not make one single sale, right? And even also in the other context of marketing trends as per the market, how it is in the market. And um this is not to say what videos and pictures are trending. Literally, marketing trends is literally like how the market is going, like what is really working. There was a time that storytelling marketing wasn't a thing. It was majorly probably newspapers and billboards, those kind of trends, those kind of industry trends, that what we're trying to say. Those two is also another thing. So, but you want to be at the other side of the line. You want to be the one that is starting something. You want to do what works for your business and not what the crowd is hopping on. So that's incredible. That's an incredible view that you have. I'm going to let Flourish go to the next question while we just try to round up. In as much as I don't even want to, I feel like it was short. I don't know why I feel like it was short, even though it's close to an hour. But I'm going to let Flourish take off with the next question.
All right. So you've given an advice to business owners that they should, as much as advisable to jump on trends, they should be conscious of the relevance of that trend to their business before jumping on it. So now, what advice would you give to someone that who is trying to build their own personal brand, but they are feeling overwhelmed? We all know a personal brand, you stated some of its relevance, how building a community, loyal people, people who are there to just, oh, because Anu is on this episode, oh, let me just join. Oh, Anu is right here, let me join. So now, to those who are trying to build their own personal brand but are feeling overwhelmed, what would be your advice to them?
Okay. Thank you so much. Uh, I have another opposing view again, and maybe you people will send me packing soon of my opposing view. So the first thing is give up. That's the first thing. And when I say give up, a lot of people, like for me, this year alone, I've given up like 5 times, and I will tell you the reasons. Because sometimes when you are doing something, I've seen that a lot of motivational speakers around will tell you, be consistent, be doing this. But my brother, my sister, if you are consistent and you are not getting the desired results you want, I feel it's important that you give up, close down everything. In fact, leave Twitter, and then after giving up, what's next? You re-strategize, because this thing, you are crazy about it. And before you are crazy about it, oh, some of us, we do things, and that's the reason why I say I usually say this. Please don't copy anybody when it comes to personal. Don't say, oh, it was because I saw Media Queen doing videos on Instagram. That was the reason that it can push you, oh, but please make sure that your why is very, very strong, because wind will come. Wind is definitely, wind will come. You must to be overwhelmed. You must be overwhelmed. If you're not overwhelmed, in fact, maybe you're not doing something right. So give up and then re-strategize and find a way of coming back in grand style. I've done it several times. Not several times, but at least I've done it a couple of times when I was stuck at 6,500 followers. I was like, we need this gospel of small businesses, this gospel of dear single antelope should reach nations of art. So what do I need to do? I've used all the strategies I needed to do. So I had to go, and then I came back to strategize, and then I realized that people were not interested in reading long things. What they needed now was nuggets. And I started giving it nuggets, and I've been growing. I've been growing again. So it's very, very important that you give up, re-strategize. And number three thing I'm going to say is, if you apparently on this page, go to my uh profile, you will see the cover picture there, and the cover picture has been my watchword since I started my journey since 2019. And I will tell you now, number 3 point is show up long enough to get noticed. Rome was not built in a day. So if you really want to get those desired results you need, and you are crazy about those desired results, you need to show up long enough, emphasis enough, to get noticed. Thank you so much.
That was so beautiful. That was incredibly beautiful, honestly. And thank you so much, Anu. But there are a few things I'm just going to quickly go over. Like I said, this is the shortest 1 hour that I've ever experienced, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but I feel like I'm speaking for all. Like, this feels very short. I don't even know how. This feels very, very short. But there are a few things that I want to really, 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 really share. If I don't share, I will not sleep this night. First thing first, I see a lot of small business owners that are really putting in their best. Honestly, they've practically, in their own best way, they've implemented all the things that coaches have told them before. They've read so many books, they've done this and they've done that. But just like Anu will say, there are so many things that I want to say that would counter it. I want to say everything in opposite. The opposite is that you're not implementing it in the way that suits your business, right? And that's why I really love actionable examples. Sometimes people say things but without applying proper context. Because at the end of the day, there are different businesses and there are different things that would work. There are different strategies that could work. Just because shameless marketing is working for one particular vendor doesn't mean that it would necessarily work for you. In fact, it might even be perceived as tacky or too salesy. And then if there's one thing that I've learned in psychology and storytelling together, the psychology of buying, like why people buy certain things, is how you are being perceived to them. So it's how they will perceive you that would now linger to them even becoming a part of your tribe, which is everything that we've basically been talking about today, right? I'm sure you must have been expecting us to say something out of the ordinary, but honestly, it's still like what is in the books. It's just that you just need to implement it differently. You need to approach it in a very different way. And thank God that Anu was being very honest, and he was just, ap- applying all that he knows with what has worked for him and the people that he has worked for, or people that he has worked with, rather. But in your own case, you can always think of something that would apply to you, something that comes very natural. Because there's one thing about psychology, is that people can perceive what you think, right? If you're not very confident in what you are offering, people can perceive it in your first sales call. They can perceive it in how you word your offers. They can perceive it. If you're not very confident, if you're not in love with what you are doing, it will be very hard for you to convince them to be in love with you as well, because you're not even in love with yourself. So how do you want to make it work? So I've used one example earlier when Anu pointed something about the ownership strategy, which is the power of talking to one person, the power of ownership, the power of using mind, the power of possessions. I've used an example. If you were here the time that I used that example, another example that I would like to apply now in this whole context of building a brand is actually your words. Your words matter a lot. The words that you use matter so much. And I mean it literally, like how you word your sentences, how you are speaking to people. What are the things that you are saying in the construction of your messages? You want me to patronize you. How did you write out the things that you are selling? How did you do it? Do you do it in a way that it feels like, if I actually need, I should reach out to you? Or are you doing it in a way that because people are doing it, then you are also doing it? Honestly, there's beauty in uniqueness. There's beauty in seeing things work differently. There are times that we actually see vendors that they would post about a certain product and put a price. Oh, I sell affordable this and this and that. This one price is kiniko amount. 100 other vendors are writing the same thing that you are writing. So what makes you different from the 100 others? Those are the things that you should be asking yourself. What are the wordings that you are using? Yet there are still some vendors that will write the same thing, but obviously not the same way that you wrote it. But theirs will get more engagement than yours. It's not magic. It's not something different that they are doing. It's not something out of the ordinary. They're just doing something slightly different. Probably they're reaching out to people to their DM. Maybe they're cold pitching, but not making it look like it's scary, because sometimes cold DMs scare me because of how people used to put their words together. Just be creative with it, and that is how people would naturally get connected to you, because you're speaking in their language. There's something that I used to say, is that when you don't speak the same language with people, it will be very difficult to interpret your soul. That is also very applicable in business. If you're not speaking the language of your ideal customers, if you're not saying what it is that they want to hear, it will be very, very hard, very, very hard for them to be connected to you, or for them to have that longing for you. It will be very, very hard, except it's just something that they need urgently and they will buy from you, and that's the end. They will never come back again, because you were a last option and you don't want to be a last option. So, I mean, that's it for today. Um, so before I round up, I would just like to mention that if you have anything that you want to say or you want to contribute on today's session, we've actually never done that since we started this episode, but I don't know why I'm just really moved to um let anyone who wants to ask Anu something today, because I know that he brought his entire tribe here. Uh, I've seen a whole lot of them already. So if you have something to say, maybe you want to ask a question, you want to you want to ask a question basically, or you just want to clarify something, Please, you have like a few moments. Okay, I can see somebody requesting. I'm just going to take two people. So, Ojuko, please let me know if I'm correct, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Is it Ojuko?
Yeah, hello. Good evening, guys.
Hi, good evening. Please let me know if I'm correct, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Yeah, it's Ojuku.
Okay, okay, perfect. So Ojuko and one other person can speak after have any other thing. Make sure that you tweet it and use the right hashtags because like I said, someone is actually going to win the prize. So I think that's even the highlight of this entire series. The prize that you get to win. It's a 200,000 plus worth of package where top influencers get to promote your business and we get to give you this beautiful page revamp and all of that. So if you have anything, even though it's just a commentary about this event, tweet about it and use the right hashtags. Yeah. So Jiko, please carry
All
on.
right. About that, we talked to Admin later to put me through because I didn't actually get what he said. Now, I just wanted to come on and say a big thank you to the organizers of this space for hosting such a space. If you look at the internet these days, negative influence are rather promoted more than positive influence. So for you guys to put something like this together and actually make it happen.
I can't hear anything. Oh. Or is my network that is bad? Which one?
And use your network.
Eh,
So yeah, go. Please, Ojiko, continue.
So I wanted to ask Anne something because we've been mutuals for a while and I've been seeing what he's been doing with his uh his community, and I'm a kind of community guy too who likes to associate with people who are like minded. She get. So actually I'm not a business owner. I I am still an apprentice. I still do with my boss here in Aba. So I will be with him for a couple of years. I've been with him for like 4 years now, and I'll be free this next year ending 5 years. So the whole Igbo apprenticeship something where you get to serve your boss, and after that you are settled. But then I have been looking for a way to start something online, to start selling what we sell online, and maybe make a few bucks from that. However, that's not what I wanted to talk about here. I wanted to ask Anu a question. I've already written to him on DM, telling him that I have a contrary view to what he said about jumping on trends. Now, when you see these trends, you see that jumping on trends actually are one of the ways to make sure that yes, you will be there when others are also making it. If you don't give up, look at let's say YouTube, look at personal branding, look at the whole cryptocurrency of a thing. Imagine you just look at all these things and say, oh, these are just trends, it won't be sustainable, I don't even have to jump on them, and you overlook them and just bullshit it and you don't go for it. And in to 20 years later, don't you think you will be like, if I know I for actually do this Bitcoin of a thing, I for actually invest in Bitcoin, or I could have started my YouTube channel, or I could have started something like a personal brand. So Anu, I when you said jumping on trends, I don't know whether you are talking about businesses, or it was specific for business, or you're just being generic. So what do you actually mean? Are you trying to say jumping on trends for businesses won't be sustainable? Are you saying in general? jumping on trends are not sustainable. So that's my question for Anu.
Okay. Chama, can I answer or you want to answer?
Oh, of course. The question is for
Eh,
you. I mean, Ojoko, thank you for your question and thank you for acknowledging what we are doing
okay.
here. So I know, please carry on.
Okay. I think I had to rejoin because I only got like half of the question, but I would do my possible best to answer. Regarding trends not being sustainable, I have an opinion, like I said, that is really counter opposing to what a lot of people would say. I believe trends are not sustainable and trends are really short-lived. I'm going to start from back in the days. You realize that there was a certain style people use when they are sewing their clothes. Right now, if you check those trends, they have gone. There are new creative ways that people are using to like make clothes, and people are really crazy about it. For businesses, what I'm trying to say is, if you are going to jump on a trend, make sure it's relatable to your business. I don't expect you to jump on a trend, and that's why I think I made a tweet 2 days ago or 3 days ago that you don't actually need to dance before you actually like make a sale. So if you are using or jumping on a trend, make sure that the trend is relevant to your business. But general, I don't believe that trends are sustainable. And I would say something: if you start and also because it is trending, you might actually be the one who would low key regret. It's just my own personal belief and opinion. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Anu. So, like I said, it's just two people that could contribute or ask. Every other thing you can always put it in writing. Okay, you can always put it in writing as a tweet. So, I'm also going to add something. I'm going to also say something regarding what Ojuku is saying or what Anu has also said. About trends. So Ojugo was actually coming from a place, he was actually asking, just trying to get clarity that, okay, is this trend of a thing, is this supposed to be a general world view, like, okay, just generally, or you mean like in specifics in business? And that's why he used crypto, for instance, like now crypto is trending. It's actually a trend that some people are investing in it, while some people are not really seeing a future in it. So he's now saying that, okay, what if in, let's say, 10 years from now or 5 years from now, and this crypto begin to, you see that it's actually doing a lot of things, when we are out here thinking that it's a scam and all of that, when we could have just have invested in it long before then, like long before that time. I think that's what he's saying. So I think this matter of trend is divided into two categories. So that we are Ojiko now, that we're talking about business. So everything that we're saying is in the business context, in the context of business. So this is very applicable to startup founders and small business owners, and even like independent professionals like content creators, and probably you're a career person. And if there are certain trends that you want to hop on, it has to be applicable to your business. You understand? You cannot be, what example can I use now? What example can I use? I'm thinking of an example, because this thing
Shaking,
happens
shaking your.
exactly, dancing of a thing, right? Or making, or maybe lip syncing. That's another very good example. Or this shameless market. I think I used that as an example when I was speaking on this matter. Um, Shameless marketing was a trend. Let me say 2021, 2022. Shameless marketing was a thing. Like, it was great. It was a pandemic. People shouted, people rang bell, people, oh no, people danced like, oh no, oh my gosh. So many things happened. It was chaotic. A lot of wonderful things were happening on social media. But it was a trend that was happening. Almost every small business owner was hopping on it because they were seeing results in the lives of other small business owners. But you're forgetting that some of this shameless marketing does not work for every business. If you claim that, for instance, if you claim that you are into the business of selling luxury items, you're selling affordable luxury, like they love to call it, even though I've said it before, that there's nothing like affordable luxury. It's actually, is either it's luxurious or it's affordable. You can't have both. You have to stay one place. But those people that say that they sell affordable luxury clothes, they will tie wrapper with one shoe and then one leg slippers with lipstick, and you're making noise, come and buy from me, want to buy from me. Your ideal customers might see you as being tacky. Now that is where these trends can, can go south, that it doesn't work, it's not effective. But in the other case of hopping on trends so that you can just feel among, a good example is this president general among the nation. It's a very beautiful meme, it's very funny, it's trending. You can actually apply it to your business. So it's a very two-way thing. That's why we are talking about this today. Knowing how to apply trends to your business so that you don't get out of touch, or you're not coming off the wrong way for your customers or your audiences. So Ojukwu, I hope that is clear. I hope that is very clear for you and you understand. Somebody else was okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Also, I just want to take a moment to say thank you for appreciating what we're doing here. It's a wonderful thing to help small business owners and entrepreneurs and startup founders grow, and that is what our agency is all about. Someone else was requesting to speak. I don't know if I caught that immediately. um
I,
I think
I think
Lois.
it's Media Queen now.
Yes. So I don't know if she's still interested in
And now my
speaking. If someone else
now my
is
Oga give her mic.
request. I don't know whether it was a mistake. If you're still interested in saying something, please just request. We're taking one more person, just the last person. The other thing that you would like to say, please just put it in the chat box or make a tweet about it and tag Anolu and tag us. You know the drill now. So okay. Uh,
Please, can anyone hear Chioma?
Ah, no, no,
oh,
no,
I
no.
actually muted myself. I muted myself because Media Queen was connecting.
I think she
So
has the mic
welcome.
now.
Yes, she does. She
All right.
does.
Good evening, everyone. I was already typing my response when so I think what Anu is trying to say. Sorry, my name is Lois. I think what Anu is trying to say when it comes to trends is the fact that it's not strategy driven. It's just a walk in the park. We're excited, and let's jump on it. And if we're going to look at it at a long term race, I don't really think it's sustainable either. If you look at businesses that are still existing, 40, 50, I mean, I walked into an office in Lagos of a business that is handling major accounts for businesses and global brands, and they rarely even post on social media, right? And they are closing like the major accounts, Coca Cola, brands like that. Those are the people that they are handling their accounts, right? So it means that it goes way beyond trending because it's the Gen Z thing to do. But if you're in the business for a long term, right, you're not just building a business for now, then you want to look at more sustainable ways to keep yourself in the high of your customers, right? You want to craft your messaging in a way that you're not tacky, like Chioma said. And again, I would use practical example. If you look at individuals who were very popular like 5 years ago, you barely hear about them now. You look at businesses that were everywhere in the news. I mean, it takes a whole lot more for a business to still stay in business, right? So if trend is, I want to be popular, I want to be this. NFT was the buzz. Where is NFT now? right? Just like most industries, right? They will cease to exist after 3, 4, 5 years after the initial buzz. So look at strategies that would serve you for a longer term and not just focus on now, now, now. I want to be trending. I thought about it today. And I was like, are we going to peak? And trust me, there is bad publicity for business owners. There is really bad publicity that you may never recover from. No amount of crisis management would help you recover from it. So let's just stick to strategies. Let's stick to strategies that work, and let's scale up on what works instead of chasing hair, right? Yeah, so that's what I want to add. Well done, Shoma. Well done, Anu. I've enjoyed the space so far. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As after what I've said, some people were still whining me. They wanted to tinkle by fancy, wanted to still say one or two things. I no agree. If you want to say anything, you're going to tweet it. You're going to tweet about it and tag Anolua and tag us. With whatever we want to say. We've actually spent longer than we had hoped. If I have your permission to go on, if I have your permission to go on, because like I said, this space was feeling short. So, Ojuko, you want to say something else? Okay, just brief for a brief moment, very brief moment.
Thank you, Chioma. I don't even know say you are my sister, but I was thinking everyone here was Yoruba and I was the odd person here. So that being said, I wanted to ask if this is a weekly space and what days do you guys host spaces like this? I would love to jump on the spaces whenever I'm free.
All right, thank you so much, Ojuko. So first off, let me just point this out that we are not divided by tribe. We are not the odd one out. Even though I were to be a Yoruba person, we're all one, honestly, and that's to the whole point of this
Chioma.
whole. Wow, all one. One nation, one love, one love, one love. Okay, so getting right into it, first off, we are actually an agency. Do you understand? This is Till It's Media, and we are hosting this event, this beautiful series that you all love. And we are grateful that you do love it. Tales by Moonlight is happening every Fridays and Sundays. You get so the next episode would actually hold on Sunday, and that's where we're going to be talking about how to sell the right way. If you want to know how to sell well, join that space. That is our fourth episode. So just catch us Fridays and Sundays. This episode will actually end soon. It's going to be ending on the 19th. So the last episode is actually going to happen on our Instagram. Every information is going to be shared. So just make sure that you are following us. So you're going to be on the loop. There's always something to learn every single day. Even when we are not hosting this space, there's always educative content. And like I said, I love to put out and push out. We love to push out actionable examples. So it's not even a thing of we're telling you to do it. We're showing you how to do it. Do you understand? It's a different thing when somebody tells you that, oh, this thing, don't do it. And somebody's telling you that this is how you can do it and this is how you shouldn't do it. There are two different learning tactics, which, not many agencies do that, but we understand our audiences and we understand what they like, what requires them to, to feel motivated enough to implement them. So there's always something beautiful to learn. So that's it. Again, there's going to be a prize to be won during this whole participation. So the way that you are being so active, use the right hashtags, which is hashtag Tales by Moonlight and hashtag Tell It Media with under everything that you're saying, and you get to win a package worth over 200,000. I know Lua knows this. As somebody who is an influencer, he knows how expensive influencing marketing and UGC marketing is. And this is what we're doing to reward you for active participation. So that's it for today. Again, I'm your host for tonight, Chioma Ara. I'm the founder of Talit Media and my beautiful, wonderful co-host. She has been quiet today. Nobody gave her Coca-Cola. Oh, sorry. She had
Goodness.
And now nobody gave Coca-Cola. The last one you were just showing yourself. Now she's quiet and meek and humble. But yes, Flourish Eniola is my co-host for today, and she's the creative writer at Tailits Media, and we're so happy that this episode was such a success. Like I said, I posted it on my status that Anu brought his entourage. Obviously, we can see it. You brought an entire entourage. So let me emphasize again that you should get the book, Dear Small Business Owner. It's going to really help you as much as it's going to help you as a startup founder, or even as an independent professional. That's like if you're more in the career space, it's going to help you a lot. So just do well to get familiar with the brand and have a lovely night. Good night, all. Good night, everyone. See you in the next episode on Sunday. Bye.
Bye, everybody.